And welcome back to the Cam Rogers Show here on Chat Sports Facebook Live. And we have actress AnnaLynne McCord here, who literally, folks, might be the coolest person on the planet. You may have seen her from 90210, the FX show, Nip Tuck. AnnaLynne, really appreciate you coming on the program. How we doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. I'm not sure if I can fill the shoes of that setup, though.
Oh, no pressure at all. No pressure at all. But I will say, I am like mentally prepared here to face the wrath of Naomi Clark right now. Like, I feel like you should just start bullying me and insulting me because that's what I'm used to. Like, I'm expecting it, but thank God you're actually nice in real life.
Yes, I get all my bitchiness out on camera so I can be nice in real life.
There you go. Let's start off with a little breaking news here, AnnaLynne. You announced on your Instagram yesterday that you're joining the One World Summit in Colombia as a counselor discussing the power of the mind, something you're very passionate about. How excited are you for that?
I'm extremely excited. I'm really excited that production got me out for it since it was something that we've actually been planning for several months now. I am really, it's going to be a crazy event. Apparently, it's the second largest event to the Rio Olympic Games for South America. And,
Sure.
I was speaking at Oxford back in February, and the director of the summit was there, and he's a former Oxford Union president. And he reached out and was like, "Can we make this happen?" And I was like, "Hold on, let me think about this for a second." Yes, I'm so excited. It's a topic that I really, really care about, and I'm excited to be able to kind of speak at length with the next generation about something that is that important to me and I think to our world.
Absolutely. Very excited for that, I'm sure. AnnaLynne, let's talk about your passions for acting. I was actually reading an article, and you basically said you always wanted to be an actress. And that kind of reminded me of myself. I always wanted to be an on-air personality. Heck, I was announcing video games as a 10-year-old alone in my basement. Sorry, all my friends out there, you know, I kind of did that, so don't think less of me or anything. But AnnaLynne, I mean, you always had this passion. You always had this vision. How did you go from that vision to actually making it happen?
Well, first of all, congratulations for doing what you love.
I appreciate that. Hey,
that's the best thing. Absolutely, that's the best thing. That's the same for me. Well, first I wanted to be a math tutor, and then I wanted to be an archaeologist. And after that, I wanted to be an actress. So kind of a random string of desires.
Sure.
But at 9, I decided I wanted to be an actress, and it stuck. And I started doing community theater. I was homeschooled, so homeschool plays, which please don't ask. There are pictures that may surface at some point, which are probably just going to not be good. But I... No. So I ended up being able to graduate early. I didn't go to high school. I didn't know that I would have been Naomi Clark perhaps, and maybe would have been a cheerleader. So instead I was a nerd, and I went crazy with my academics. I graduated at 15, a couple months after I turned 15, and I said, "Peace out, bye, Georgia." I moved first to Miami, but then to New York to study acting. And it's kind of crazy because everyone kind of just sees you once you're where you're at, and they don't know about the like 10 to 15 years before where you've been hustling like a, you know, trying to make ends meet, in New York, trying to break even, just paying rent. So there was a lot of that. But then I moved out to LA, and I intended on being out there for a couple of months. 12 years later, I'm still there. So it's been a really great thing. But I work my butt off no matter what I do. And I think that that's something that it's an interesting topic in today's generation of work ethic. So I'm thankful that that was something that was important to me, because I appreciate everything I've achieved because I worked my fucking ass off. Am I allowed to curse on here? Sorry. I just did.
No FCC.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Let me ask you this here, AnnaLynne. So is it fair to say you're kind of a low-key nerd? Like, you like neuroscience, you're big into psychology. So I'll ask you this. First of all, are you psychologically analyzing me as we do this interview here?
No, I did that the 5 minutes before when I was watching your last bit of the last segment.
That's fair. That's fair. So where does that come from?
I definitely. I guess it derives from that original desire to be a math tutor and the fact that I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be a nerd, so I pursued all that. I mean, I used to do my sister's chores to be able to have more computer time once computers came out, because yeah, guys, I'm part of the generation that didn't have computers at first. It could happen when I was like 11. So I liked anything geeky, gadgety, nerdy, and yeah, neuroscience is my newest passion in the last 5 years. I've probably put in listening hours, about a couple thousand of neuroscience lectures, books written by. I love to listen because I feel like I really get the voice of the author, or obviously the lecturer. Of course, it's on Audible. So I am insanely obsessed with what this thing, our brain, can do.
Sure. Yeah, AnnaLynne, I'm thinking back to like my AP Psych days where like I squeaked out a 5 on the exam. I'm thinking about the amygdala, memory, all that good stuff. It's all coming back to me. It's a very nostalgic moment right now. But of course, you're also a big fan of charity, and you are the president of Together One Heart, which works with human trafficking. It's safe to say you're like the mother of Cambodia with the great things that you've done over there. How awesome has it been to be a part of that and really creating progress over there?
Definitely the mother of a few little Cambodians, a couple hundred or maybe a couple thousand at this point. And proud to say that. I definitely am so grateful to have been a part of this. I can't really attribute anything that I've added to it as being the part that's progressive. I would like to be a part of that, but what has progressed, I know, in my life is overall has been just my happiness and my sense of inner peace from knowing these girls and knowing the founder, Somali Mom, and being a part of this work. I thought I was going to hop on a plane to Cambodia and go help some kids overseas. They changed my life. They turned my world upside down. I'm a survivor of sexual assault. I've speak very candidly about this topic. And I was in complete actual clinical denial about my story. I had blocked it out, and piece by piece my story came back and I was able to move beyond it. And I, it's a work in progress. When you go through trauma, it's a lifetime of uphill battles. And part of what I think I still struggle with is relationships and intimacy, and I'm learning about that. And so much from my girls who go from being sex trafficked to being able to be married and have kids with a man who they can trust and they love and they can actually have sex with, and they can talk to me about this and help me in my own life. I mean, I feel like whatever I do in this part of my life is the most selfish part, because it's what really helps me.
It's absolutely fantastic, and keep it up here, AnnaLynne. I got to ask you here, this is, a sports show, but we get entertainment involved as well, but I will go to this. So you're from Atlanta, but from what I can gather, it seems as though you're a Patriots fan. Now, by the way, I'm from New England. I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm a Ravens fan, proudly. Please tell me you're not a Patriots fan, AnnaLynne.
Okay, well, I could say that, but then I take you into my closet, and there's half my closet is Pat's gear. First of all, you're a traitor, but that's okay. It takes one to know one, because apparently I am too. No, my first ever football game, my dad never watched sports, 2002 Super Bowl. We had a party in Georgia, but everyone, of course, was bandwagoning for the Rams. And who thought that someone would be on a bandwagon for the Rams, right? But that was 2002, and Patriots were the underdog, as I now know all the terms. But everyone was Rams. So I'm the asshole in the crowd who's like, "Go Pats!" And they won. So it was obviously because of me, and I became a Patriots fan. And then my first boyfriend's actually from Maine. His entire family's from Rhode Island, and we spent 4 years together. When we first met, he was like, "Wait, you're a Patriots fan? This might actually work out." So home games at Gillette Stadium, and 15 years later, I'm stoked to be a Pats fan. But yeah, there's a lot of haters. But I will say, I like to ask haters who hate on Mr. Goat Man. Do you hate Joe Montana? And they're like, "No, Joe Montana's the man." I'm like, "Yeah, but throwback to Montana days. Did you want to be a hater on Joe Montana, who ends up being Joe Montana? We will, in 20 years, 30 years from now, it's going to be Brady. So, he's a historic figure at this point. He just hasn't gotten there yet in the years. And I'm stoked because he's still playing at 40. So, yes, hate all day long, but it's history, bitches.
I mean, he's a good guy, I guess. I mean, nice guy, good values, good core values. But Joe Flacco, better quarterback. Hot take of the day here on the Cam Rogers Show. Just saying. Just saying. But,
for what it's worth, I like your coach.
There you go. Hey, by the way, it seems like our motivations.
He's the good brother.
It seems like our motivations are the same here because you wanted to be the contrarian, and I guess I kind of was the contrarian being a Ravens fan in New England, wearing my Ravens shoes across the halls in high school and getting roasted by my friends. Like, there you go.
So what was it for you? Why were you a Ravens fan?
Oh, it's a long story, but the short answer is I was spiritually born in Maryland. So there you go.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, we'll talk about that on the next interview. The one where I have you on a couch lying flat.
Okay, AnnaLynne, let's talk about 90210, of course. I can't help myself. It actually got me through finals weeks in college. I admit it, folks. I watched 90210. I'm sorry. I was addicted. And what a fun show it was. I really think, I mean, you just shined throughout that entire series. And you almost took on different personalities. Like at the first season, second season, you were like Queen Bee, Miss Popular. And then towards the end, you were really like a good friend to people. And so it was really quite a transition. How fun was that?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, at the time, I was a little brat. So I talk about my work ethic that kind of extends to a little bit of arrogance, a lot of perfectionism, and I thankfully have cooled down a little bit in my work at this point. But I care about what I do, and it was a crazy couple years because Naomi changed a lot for a couple reasons. One, we had like 4 different showrunners. But she also did evolve. And what I really love, in looking back on it is that everyone who reaches out to me and everyone who talks about what their experience of growing up with the new 90210 is that what they took from Naomi specifically was about owning who you are. And that's something that's a lost art. And it's all about being polite and being politically correct and not offending someone. Offend me. See if you can. Because for me, it's your outlook. If you think I'm a bitch, you don't know me well enough. If give me a chance to get to know you. But for me, that's your projection of your reality in your mind onto me. What in you sees bitchiness about yourself that you don't like, so you see it in me too? Maybe it's really there, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just the reality you project from your mind. So in being Naomi, I got to put on the shoes of an entirely different person. I got to go to prom for the first time in my life and win. I kept winning, which was awesome. But I really got on the other side of things when Naomi was raped during season 2 and season 3, going through all of that. I didn't connect the dots on my own story, but I was able to begin this conversation with other young women who had gone through this. And piece by piece, in working with my own story and my trips to Cambodia and kind of putting that together, we got to talk about some really incredible issues while having a lot of fun on 90210 with some really hot guys like AKA Matt Lanter, who I adore, and is going to be a dad. He's going to be a father, man. I was so crazy how everything is just, we've all kind of grown up now. So it was a lot of fun, though.
All right, AnnaLynne, let's think hypothetical here. Let's pretend you're a writer for 90210. You're writing a new episode here. Is Naomi Clark worthy, or am I worthy of being friends with Naomi Clark on that show? Would that be possible, or am I just not there yet?
Oh, the new and reformed Naomi, because I'm so sorry, but you did admit to being a little bit of a nerd, and Naomi just switched her tastes toward the end of that series. And Max became the sexy, because I will tell you, I'm definitely could be labeled as a little shallow at times in my life. I've picked some very studly, chiseled douchebags. Not all of them, but some of them. But intelligence intelligence is sexy. Love of my life, Dominic Purcell. We were together for 5 years, and he's gorgeous and he's sexy as hell and his body's amazing, but his brain, he's one of the most intelligent men I've ever met in my entire life, and that is what's sexy. So I think you and Naomi might have a shot.
Let's go, baby. 90210
Season 6. Exactly.
All right, one more question for you here. So coming up in the next segment, we're actually power ranking the top songs of the 2000s, which is like literally my era. I love it. Give me your favorite song from that decade. No pressure.
Okay, no pressure. I mean, it's pretty easy for me, the 2000s. Wait, does that mean, hold on, here's my blonde Naomi moment. Okay. Does that mean 2000 to 2010 only?
Correct. First decade.
Okay. Okay, let's see. I don't know when this came out.
Little Avril Lavigne, Ashley Simpson.
No, I think this was the early 2010s, because I love Imagine Dragons and I love the song Demons. But I know a song that I would get down to in New York when I was way too young to be going to a club at night. I got the magic stick. Little 50 Cent, a little Lil Kim remix, Lil Kim's version. I won't lie, I've definitely had some fun to that song. So let's just go straight up naughty with Magic Stick.
Absolute banger, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic song. Gets the club rolling, no doubt about it. Ladies and gentlemen, AnnaLynne McCord, you're an absolutely amazing person. Keep up with what you do. Really fantastic. And thank you so much for coming on the program. And by the way, if 90210 wants to make a comeback here, you know, Naomi, Cam Rogers, we'll make it happen, right?
Naomi and Cam. I do have a new show coming out in January. Let's Get Physical. I'm filming it right now. It's for the Pop Network, which is actually the old TV Guide channel. You already have the channel, Pop TV. Let's Get Physical in January. Check it out.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. AnnaLynne, thanks so much.
Thanks, Cam.
All right, thanks so much to her for coming on the show. Really fun interview. And we got my guy Harris Rubenstein coming up after the break here on the program, power ranking the top songs of the 2000s. Here we go.